what perpetual losing does to the psyche of a young man?
Sure.
This man was ruining lives with his inability to build and construct a team. And they were leaving it to Brett Brown to handle everything else. And all the coaches know it, even coaches that wanted jobs, that would have liked an opportunity to have a head coach. They were like, damn, look at what's being done to Brett Brown. I'm telling you what coaches told me.
I got it.
And so when we look at it from that perspective, and then you talk about the analytics, because this guy, Sam Hinkie, Daryl Morey, that's his guy. You know, that's one of his guys. All of these analytics, dude, let this be a lesson to everybody out there. You can have analytics. There's a numbers game. And by the way, analytics ain't nothing but statistics. Let's just call it what it is, okay? And the fact of the matter is, some would tell you, I was just speaking to a couple of Pat Riley's former players last week, and they were all reminding me, Pat Riley was doing this in the 90s. Pat Riley had the analytics. He had the plus-minus differential. He knew everything that was going on. He would tell you what you didn't do, what the numbers show, et cetera, et cetera. This ain't new. They're trying to make it new to carve out a different profession so they could get paid and ease other guys who are basketball guys out of the mix. And this man, Sam Hinkie, got away with it for far too long. Thank God he's gone. Thank God.
Okay, but the Colangelo family, especially Brian as he takes over, and father, obviously highly regarded, they should thank God for what Sam Hinkie left them with. 6 additional first-round picks, $50 million in cap space.
Yes.
It's right on schedule for them with their personal
that's
ties.
Fair. That is more than fair. But you need to understand that wasn't his intention, because guess what? Skip, the draft picks may have been, but in terms of the $50 million in cap space, what difference does it make?
I mean, really, that's just full of contradictions. What difference does it make? I mean, Q, Stephen A. Smith is just contradicting left and right.
Man, you know what? I just need like a moment. So what we're gonna do is we're definitely gonna get into that. But to address that, I feel like we just need to take a moment.
This man said Sam Hinkie was ruining lives. Can you believe this? Ruining lives.
Yeah, I can definitely believe that.
Are you okay, man? Are you okay? Is your life ruined?
My life, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is right now, but definitely from this news, it's not perfect right now.
Oh my God,
man! Welcome to Off the Bench. It's gonna be very lit. Like, you know, it's gonna be very, very, very lit indeed. And what we're going to be talking about tonight, Ryan, you want to give the people the itinerary for tonight?
Tonight, what we're going to be covering is obviously the biggest news of the week outside of any playoff implications is Sam Hinkie, trust the process. The biggest unfortunate monkey wrench possible being thrown thanks to the ownership. The East playoffs, how things are shaping up, because 3 through 6 is pretty exciting right about now. Things can go either way, however you go, every night until the season's over. We're going to go breaking down to what is a superstar. It's a subjective, maybe to you, maybe to Q, maybe to whoever you have in mind of what is the quintessential, what are the categories that make up a superstar. We're going to talk about Villanova and that critical win because, hey, come on, Philly needs some love tonight, man. This shit is unreal. And we're going to try to get to the latest inductees of Hall of Fame. Shout out to The Answer, AI, representing Philly. Once again, we got to give Philly some love. It's the city of brotherly love. Shaq and, of course, Yao Ming.
Yeah, and by the way, just a quick PSA. I want to give special thanks and special shout-outs to anybody who watches Off the Bench and listens to us. We hear all the critiques. We hear all the complaints. If you feel as though something is missing, if you feel as though something is wrong, please voice those in the comment section. And for those who have, I appreciate that shit so much because it makes me want to deliver a better product. And I'm pretty sure Ryan feels the same way too. The mic situation is still being fixed. So bear with us. The budget is still very underground. You know, it's still very,
we're trying little tweaks here and there.
Yeah, man.
There to make it a little bit better, best we can.
Yeah, and we're gonna fix it very, very soon. The quality will get a lot better. Computers will be upgraded within a couple months, I'm sure. we'll be working towards getting the goals that you all want us to meet by delivering clear audio quality and all that good stuff. So definitely shout out to everyone who gives critiques or pros, cons, whatever it is. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, I mean, let's go and let's just get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. The news came out of South Philly a couple of days ago, man.
All thanks to Jerry Colangelo.
And yeah, we definitely gonna talk about him for definitely for damn sure. We gonna talk about Jerry Colangelo. I had a couple of days to sit with this, and I feel the exact same way as when the news first broke. For those of you who don't know, the Philadelphia 76ers had a resignation turned in from their general manager, Sam Hinkie. Now, Sam Hinkie has been getting a lot of flack, a lot of heat, and a lot of praise from fans, analysts, coaches, and other GMs and other casuals around the league and around, the sports world for what he's doing with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Philadelphia 76ers over the last couple of years have been intentionally tanking to rebuild. And a lot of people have very, very polarized feelings about this. Either you hate the process, as it was coined by, I believe it was Tony Roden who coined it, the process, trust the process.
Wasn't it Joshua Harris?
I'm pretty sure it was Tony Roden who came up with the phrase "trust the process." I'm almost 100% certain.
Okay, well, I did a lot of research up in this week, listened to a bunch of Sixers podcasts, and I thought that I think the Reds to Ricky Sanchez said it was the owner who said it, because they definitely said it wasn't Hinkie who came up with it.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Tony Roden when he was in a practice, and okay. I think Joshua Harris caught it. But if it is, then I will give them co-credit, because I remember hearing that interview with Tony Roden. So trust the process. The whole point of the rebuild is to cash in by, being one of the worst teams, hopefully lucking out, getting a superstar, and then cashing out in free agency when you have the most cap room by keeping your roster at the lowest, that it could be without being completely full of D-leaguers. And the Sixers had acquired, a couple draft picks, and we're going to get into the specifics.
To say the least.
We're going to get into the specifics of all this.
Well, if they just heard the clip, they heard Skip say that they had $50 million in cap space and at least more than 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, and basically the plan in simple terms is find our Iverson, find our Blake Griffin, find our KD, find our LBJ, find those guys, and then build around them with the cash that we have by luring free agents of another superstar caliber to Philadelphia, and then pad the roster with solid role players to contend for championships for years to come. That was the plan. That was the plan, and that was what we were supposed to stick to. Now, fast forward to right now, Sam Hinkie has resigned because the Philadelphia 76ers management is incompetent. Our owners are full of shit, and I thought we had gotten past this. But apparently we haven't. And a lot of people like to compare Sam Hinkie to Chip Kelly, and I think you're a fucking idiot if you say that. Personally,
terrible comparison.
Personally, I hear that so much in Philly media. I hear that so much around the country. I hear that so much from people like Stephen A. Dickhead. Like no one, fuck him. Like, at this point, I have no redeeming quality for Stephen A. besides the fact that he'll dick ride LeBron James for 45 minutes every fucking, fuck him. But anyway, when it comes to the Sixers, you're either on the side of you hate the process, you think it's ruining the NBA and all the other bullshit, or you like the process and you might have your reservations, you might have some substantial critiques that are warranted. The people who hate the process, you're wrong. I don't think there's any other way for me to put it, but you're dead wrong. You're dead ass wrong. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna come with just complete facts. I'm not gonna just, spew venomous, insults and shit. Even though I'm gonna do that a lot this episode. But I just want to give you some facts real quick. Okay, 2003, the Sixers are 33 and 49. 04 to 05 season, 33 and 49. 05 06 season, 38 44. 06 07 season, 35 and 47. 07 08 season, 40 and 42. 08 09, 41 41. 09 2010, 27 55. 2010 to 11, 41 41. The lockout season, 2011 2012, 35 31. In 2012, 2013, 34 and 48. What's up, Ryan?
I was gonna say that 2011 team is the one that actually pushed Boston in the playoffs to a 7-game series, and nobody thought would actually go that far.
And through all this, I believe we have only had, in all those seasons, we have only had one season that was above 500, which is the lockout season. And 2010, 2011 was a perfect 500 season, and so was 08, 09 was right at 500, 41, 41. So let's dispel the myth right here that the Sixers were doing so fucking great that they didn't have to rebuild. Let's dispel the myth right here that Sam Hinkie made this team shitty because the franchise was fucking garbage for years. Even with AI in 03, we were 33 and 40 fucking 9. So everyone who's talking shit with their dumbass think pieces about how this is the right step for Philadelphia and how this is so fucking great, you can piss off with that shit. Because I've seen the seasons. I've seen the seasons where Andre Iguodala couldn't do shit for us because we put no other talent around him. I've seen the seasons where we brought in a washed-up Chris Webber, we had a rookie Kyle Korver, and we had, oh my God, just so many terrible no-name players. Fucking Kwame Brown was on the team. And people want to act like this franchise was doing so great before Sam Hinkie, and Sam Hinkie came in and ruined something like the Spurs dynasty. See, in their minds, the Sixers were like the San Antonio Spurs, a model of consistency. And along came this evil, GM who said, you know what? How can I make checks by fucking up a team without having to do shit for it? How can I come along and fuck up a great product by making a team so trash that all I have to do is watch a hoop mixtape and draft people? They act like that's what he was doing. No, let me tell you what the fuck happened. 2013, 2014, 19 and 63. 2014, 2015 season, 18 and 64. And as of now, I believe if we have not lost to the Knicks, and if we have, I believe we'll be 11 and 68 if we won. And if we lost, we'll be 10 and 69. So let me explain what the fuck happened, all right? For years, we were mediocre. And Sam Hinkie gave us a goal. Sam Hinkie gave us a goal in here's what we're going to do. We're going to acquire the best talent in the draft, and we're going to stash these assets in terms of picks. We're going to find the diamonds in the rough like Robert Covington, who I believe just dropped 34 and 11 on the Knicks, which isn't anything to scoff at because you still have teams, a player like Carmelo Anthony on that squad playing small 40 he has to be defended by. So that's not no small feat. All right. You have people like Jeremy Grant, who in college didn't shoot 1-3. His first season with the 76ers, he made about 40 of 70-some threes. It was fantastic. You have people like Hollis Thompson, who I believe are in the top 10 for most consistent three-point percentage for players who have shot, I believe, is just under 300 threes. All right? So, and that's all time. Just in the first 3 seasons. You have people like Nerlens Noel, who last year at one time was in the top 10 for steals, blocks, and assists. You have people like Jaleel Okafor who are putting up numbers that only people like Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaquille O'Neal put up in their first rookie seasons. Now, I'm not saying I'm in love with everything Sam Hinkie's done, but I have to be completely honest here. My honesty is not going to allow me to sit here and let people like Stephen A. Smith shit on what the Sixers were trying to do. The Sixers were trying to contend not just in 2017, but until 2027, until if the fucking NBA is still around and the world hasn't blown itself up, in 2037. That's what we were trying to do. We were trying to be 20 years of consistency like the Spurs, but short-sighted, weak-minded and small ideal dumb fucks like Stephen A. Smith and Joshua Harris push Sam Hinkie out the door with their horrendous think pieces that don't look at the future, with just awful short-sightedness that did nothing but divide the fan base instead of getting behind it. And the fact is, a lot of the fan base was behind it. So let's go into what we are even owning in our draft picks. Sam Hinkie's whole philosophy was stocking draft picks. And you as a Celtics fan should know this better than anybody, that draft picks that you own for the future are essential to a franchise, because anything can happen. Your star player can go down. He can never be the same. Your draft pick that you picked last year couldn't pan out. A lot of shit can happen. Am I right about that, Ryan?
You're dead right.
So let's talk about this. The own picks that we have just for this draft in the first fucking round, all right? In 2016, Philly will own its first round, all right? In 2016, we own the Golden State Warriors' right to swap. In 2016, we own the LA Lakers' top 3 protected pick. In 2016, we own Miami's top 10 protected pick. In 2016, we own Oklahoma City's top 15 protected pick. In 2016, we have unprotected swaps with Sacramento, and for 2017. Okay, so let's just go right in depth. I am afraid that what the Sixers have just done is they have plummeted us into a place where we're going to draft fucking Buddy Hield with the first overall pick because, hey, we need a model of consistency, right? Hey, we need someone who's going to score, right? Because you're trusting somebody in Brian Colangelo who drafted Andrea Bargnani with the first pick, but you want me to think that Sam Hinkie is such a horrible GM because he drafted the 3 best players at one time, the 3 best players people projected were at one time during those years? That's fucking bullshit if you're trying to tell me that. Joel Embiid was going to get drafted by the Cavaliers if he did not have that back fracture. Andrew Wiggins only came up because Joel Embiid was hurt. You have Jaleel Okafor. Before Karl Anthony Towns put on an amazing performance for the second half of the NCAA season last year, Jaleel Okafor was far and away the number 1 pick. You have Nerlens Noel, who Stephen A. Smith, for some fucking reason, continues to think that he's hurt or something whenever he talks about Nerlens Noel, and it pisses me off because he doesn't even realize that, yes, he was hurt. He had an ACL tear. Okay, that is like literally spraining your ankle in 2016 or 2013 at the time. That technology and the medical science that we have nowadays is so far advanced that an ACL injury for most people is like I said, it's like a fucking hangnail. So Stephen A. Smith, you like, and this, and I don't want people to think I'm just going at Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith is a perfect representative of the ignorance in just demagoguery that goes on within the sports world, because not only is he so short-sighted that he just goes off of hot takes and what everyone else says, but he has no vision when it comes to what Sam Hinkie was doing. So let's just once again get into this. I am expecting the Sixers from now on to be mediocre as hell. I'm expecting us to fucking sign Rudy Gay in the offseason. I'm expecting us to trade for Brandon Knight so we can race to the eighth spot and get raped by LeBron James in the first round of the fucking playoffs. I expect us to trade Nerlens Noel for a fucking pack of gum. I expect us to let Jaleel Okafor walk for some stupid shit, and I expect expect us to truly release Joel Embiid in a couple years because, hey, he's not progressing as fast as he should. I expect us to do every fucking stupid thing in the world. So let's talk about this once again. And I hate to bring this up, but Drew Holiday. Ryan, what's your opinion on Drew Holiday?
All-star potential. He can get you a double-double in assists, but up until now, he had a lot of injury problems. A lot of injury problems. That's why he was probably traded. And for the past year and a half, he had that. I think it was a stress fracture.
Yeah, I believe so.
Issue?
Yeah, I believe so.
And only now did he finally get healthy. But then he had another. I think it was in his face that kind of like what Westbrook had last year with something near his eye.
It was like an orbital fracture or something, I think.
Yeah.
So let's get into that. Sam Hinkie comes in his first season. We have a roster of people like Andre Iguodala, Nikola Vucevic, who is a good player. I'm not saying he's not. Andrew Bynum, Evan Turner, Spencer Hawes, LaVoy Allen, and Thaddeus Young, just to name a few. All right, let's name in the full roster. People like Lou Williams and all that stuff, or whatever, right? Solid players are here and there within those lists I just named, but none of those players are stars. None of those players you can build a franchise around, and none of those players were worth keeping around and staying mediocre. So what does Sam Hinkie do? Sam Hinkie says, all right, we need drastic change. We need a radical change. We need a fundamentally radical change within the system that we have in place. So what we're going to do is I'm going to flip Drew Holiday for Nerlens Noel and a pick that later became Dario Saric. He literally robbed the Kings blind, and all people can think about is, Nerlens had an ACL tear. He had an ACL tear. Okay. And what is Drew Holiday going through right now? A bunch of stress fractures, a bunch of orbital fractures. So it seems to me like we got the better of that deal because Nerlens, for the most part, since he's come back, he's been extremely healthy. And he's been putting up defensive numbers that we've only seen since people like Dennis Rodman. So I don't want to hear this, Nerlens, that was a terrible trade, and Drew Holiday was just so much better than, like, fuck out of my face with this shit. Like, it's just so annoying when people bring that up. Like Nerlens Noel is not perfectly healthy now. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And we have Dario Saric coming over next season. We flipped Drew Holiday, who can't even stay on the court for New Orleans, for Nerlens Noel and Dario Saric. But that's not even where I get really pissed off. People like Stephen A. Smith.
He's the target tonight.
Yeah, so he's going to catch these bullets, man. That's just the way it is. So people like him will bring up, I mean, like, well, why did you trade Michael Carter Williams if he was Rookie of the Year? Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Michael Carter, I can't get on the fucking court for the Bucks. Williams, are you kidding me? I have to let a small forward take my position at point guard? What? Get the fuck out of here. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He was Rookie of the Year because, one, the draft class was relatively weak. I'm not here to shit on Michael. I think Michael can be an average or a solid backup point guard for a playoff team. I'm not saying he can't do that. He has good defensive instincts. But if you want to sell me on the fact that Michael Carter Williams was a future budding star when he was shooting 21% from three, then you are all the way out your fucking mind. I'm not trying to hear that shit. And you can't even get on the court film for Milwaukee? If Jason Kidd, the point guard guru, can't fix you, and he has, like, just think about this. Jason Kidd has a 6'11" small forward playing point guard.
Trying to be the next Magic Johnson.
Trying to be the next Magic. And he's doing your position better than you ever could, Michael. Think about this. He's from Greece. He's from Greece. He wasn't even supposed to be as good as he is. And you've been playing point guard your entire life, and you let this small forward take your spot. Oh my God! All right, so let's get into that. So we flipped Michael Carter Williams for the Los Angeles Lakers' top 3 protected pick, and people like Stephen A. Smith and their dumbass rants that are so short-sighted. I'm gonna say that word a lot because that is a major key to what I'm talking about. Being short-sighted and saying that, oh, you're just gonna flip the rookie of the year for a pick. This. Okay, let's get into that. So if you want to talk about a pick that is top 3 protected in the next 2 drafts that are going to be extremely strong, yes, I will take that over Michael Carter. I can't get on the court for the Bucks, aka I let Giannis Antetokounmpo take my spot, Williams, any day. Any day. I will do that any day. I would trade Michael Carter Williams for the 13th pick in the NBA draft. I'm not like I don't care about rookie of the year titles, bro. Didn't Tyreek Evans get a rookie of the year award? What's he doing? Come on now, what the hell are we talking about? Michael Collins is not a star. He's not a building block. He is a average player, and he has the potential to be a solid player in this league. He is Diet Austin Rivers. That's how mediocre his play is. So let's stop talking like this man was the second coming of Magic fucking Johnson. This shit makes me so angry. People talk about this. Like, he's an average player. He isn't even at Brandon Knight level. And let's get into Brandon Knight. We're probably going to do some shit like trade for Brandon Knight. And the sad thing is that Jerry Colangelo thinks that would probably be a good move to get us back in the 8th spot to be mediocre again. But just let me calm down, because let me just talk about this.
Okay.
Let me talk about this. Ryan, what's the most important thing for tanking, right? The most important thing, would you say, is trying to get the better draft position while simultaneously finding diamonds in the rough? Or would you say that it is, signing mediocre players and hoping for the best, right? Would you rather do it try to get the best draft position while developing your own players, or would you like to just spend unnecessary money off your cap to sign mediocre players and hopefully you can sign a free agent? What's the better method, in your opinion, of going throughout a rebuild?
I think to give like the full context, I think most importantly, up until this point, what the Sixers had, like if you're gonna do it to Sam Hinkie's plan, would be patience number one. From everything I've learned, let me put a disclaimer. In preparation for this topic, a lot of listening to Sixers podcasts to get fully understood like what the culture was like, and I think I have a somewhat of a pulse on it now. You need patience, and everybody that I've listened to, from Rice to Ricky Sanchez to the Sixers beat to so on and so forth, Liberty Ballers, everybody had patience because they knew what the end goal was. You need a front office that has the idea of, okay, this is what the plan is. You have a coach like a Brett Brown who can keep the players' self-esteem, or at least try to help them develop as they take a lot of losses, because they were going to suck for at least 3 years. And then, of course, I think the last part being is some form of development, but the balance to be like, yeah, we're going to suck right now, but we're going to try and focus on these little things to try to develop in that time while we suck. So it's not just, suck for sucking.
Yeah. And this brings me to my next point, is when you're rebuilding, sometimes the cards are not going to fall in your favor. Sometimes it's just not going to happen, okay?
You need luck. You need luck.
You need luck, and luck just sometimes happens, all right? So let's go into this. The fact that people like Stephen A. Smith, right? And I'm going to use his name a lot. I'm sorry if you like Stephen A. Smith, I have no problem with you at all. I just don't fucking like that guy. I don't like him on most stances that he has. I'm not saying he's unintelligent, but a lot of the time because I'm not going to go that far and insult his intelligence. I think he has basis in in intelligence, but he's ignorant, and that's a different type of thing. He's ignorant to a lot. He has one side of an argument and he'll ignore a lot, and that's why I don't fucking like him. So I mean, I'm sorry. So people like Stephen A. Smith will say that Sam Hinkie was only collecting checks, just doing nothing but watching highlights of college players. All right,
Oh my God.
let's go into that bullshit.
Crunching numbers.
Let's explore that bullshit for a second. What has a mid-level signing of talent gotten the New York Knicks, Ryan? I believe they have Carmelo Anthony. I really believe that they have Carmelo Anthony. They have Kristaps. We're really gonna do this. We're gonna do this for a lot of teams.
I love this.
What has signing mid-level talent done for the Knicks? The Knicks have Carmelo Anthony. They have Aaron Aflalo. They have Robin Lopez. They have Kristaps Porzingis. They have Jose Calderon. They have Derek Williams, and they have Phil Jackson, the great Phil Jackson, as their GM. And Ryan, can you answer one question for me? Are the Knicks in the fucking playoffs this year?
Nope.
Do the Knicks play in the East?
Yep.
Wow, so I guess Knicks fans should just shut the fuck up when it comes to the Sixers, because they obviously don't know what the fuck they're doing either. So let's go to another thing.
It gets better.
Whoa, talk about it.
It gets better. Like the whole point, because I tweeted this on the account, was the mediocrity was the whole point why Sam Hinkie did this plan, right?
Yes, indeed.
If we go over, if we start from 2000, New York Knicks 48-34, 2001 30-52, 2002 37-45, 2003 39-43, 2004 33-49, 2005 23-59. 2006 33-49, 2007 23-59, 2008 32-50, 2008 29-53, 2010 2011 42-40, 2011 2012 36-30, 2012 Mike Woodson's best year 54-28, 37-45, 17-65, 31-48. Mediocrity sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It sounds really familiar. So I believe that the Knicks fans, as they say in France, they should shut le fuck up. Thank you. Because it makes no sense to me how a Knicks fan like Stephen A. Smith has the gall to even speak on the Sixers process when you all don't even have a process. You just dig shit out y'all asses every couple seasons, and you might get a playoff berth. But guess what? You're going nowhere fast. All right, let's go to the Denver Nuggets. All right. What do the Denver Nuggets have to show? When they even had Carmelo Anthony, who they had? What, Chauncey Billups for a couple years? What they had? They even have people like Kenneth Faried, Danilo Gallinari, Mario Mudiay, and you know what? The faith that I have in that franchise, zero, because they have consistently shown that they don't care about anything about winning. They just care about trying to be respectable. And to be honest, go ahead.
Kurt Rambis is about to get an extension.
Yeah, man, and you know it's just funny because to be honest, I don't care about being respectable. I don't care about that. I don't care about being a respectable team. I care about being a fantastic team. I care about being in the headlines like the Warriors, the Spurs, the Cavaliers, the Celtics. I care about being great. I care about having my coach being nominated for Coach of the Year multiple times. Like I'm pretty sure Brad Stevens will. Like I'm pretty sure Brett Brown has the capability to do. Like I'm sure people like Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich will and have done for the last 20 years in Greg's case. I care about that. And Sam Hinkie's whole purpose of this was to be that. And our ownership is so incompetent that they had to push Sam Hinkie out the door by hiring his overseer and Jerry Colangelo. I have no doubt in my mind now. I have no doubt in my mind that the last straw was Sam Hinkie probably went to the owners and said, we're going to trade Jalil to Boston. I am so certain of that now. That was the last straw. The last straw was we need to trade Jalil to Boston. And Joshua and probably Jerry were like, Sam, that's insane. What are we going to do now without a big man? And he's like, we don't. But Joel's going to be healthy. I have 100% assurance in that. And if not, then we'll just take Simmons. Oh, another big man? I mean, yeah, he's probably the best talent that we've seen at power forward, small forward in the last couple of drafts since Durant. And they were like, oh, no, we can't do that. Think about the PR. Think about the media. And I'm assure you that was the last straw. So that was probably when they decided, yo, we got to get Sam the fuck out of here, man. He's going to run this team into the ground. And instead of being men, they acted like a bunch of bitches and said, I mean, well, Sam can stay on as long as he wants, but we need to start to, force him out the door. And like the spineless cowards they were, they pushed him out the door. And Sam said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make the decision for y'all. I'm out. I can't do this. I can't work. I can't make y'all trust the process. I can't make y'all do that. I cannot make y'all understand that this is a slow burn. I cannot make y'all understand that this is something that's going to come down the line and it's going to be very sweet for everybody. But right now, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be hard to look at. And it's going to be draining on a lot of the players. And let's get into that argument. This argument that, man, losing has a big effect on people and it's going to stick with the players forever. And you know what? A part of me even thinks that. A part of me thinks that because people like Carmelo Anthony sure don't give a fuck about winning games. They just care about $100 million contracts and playing in the New York Knicks, and I think that. But at the same time, I also think that these players are young enough to recapture the passion of why they even wanted to play in the NBA once they see the fact that, hey, there's talent around us. Hey, Ben Simmons is here. Hey, Chris Dunn is here. Hey, Jamal Murray's here now. Hey, let's go win some games now, you guys. Instead of, in Stephen A. Smith's world, he thinks that the Sixers are a bunch of pussies and will be like, oh, we lost those seasons ago, so we don't know how to win. Are you kidding me? That's your argument. All right, let's go into that argument now. If the Sixers were to acquire those 2 picks from the Lakers and their own pick, and they were to just say, let's just say in a hypothetical world, Joel Embiid is healthy, Dario Saric comes over, Jahlil Okafor gets traded somewhere for, let's just say, a solid role player. I don't even need a draft pick. Let's say he gets traded for a solid role player. And let's say we draft Chris Dunn and Ben Simmons. You mean to tell me that those players are still going to look back on last season and say, oh, well, we only won 10 games, so how do we win? Oh, man. Brett Brown would say, all right, are y'all ready to go? And then everyone would say, yeah, let's fucking go. We got Ben Simmons now. We got Chris Dunn. Let's fucking go. But
to be more, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, he'd make them get the PowerPoints ready to how they're gonna do better than last season probably, and get a non-basketball topic in there as well. I learned that from the low post.
Oh my God! And the thing is that this process represented more than just basketball. It was about the city. It was about the city, man. The city needed something to believe in, and the process was what we needed to believe in. And It was something that we had a goal, and we knew that it was being accomplished. And for everyone who says, well, but look at all the losses, dipshit, that's the whole motherfucking purpose of the process. But they were losing a lot. Oh, wow, you think? That's like we're looking at war photos and saying, wow, there's so much destruction. That's the purpose of war. It's the most stupid shit I ever heard. But they were losing so much. Wow, really? What? So what else do you know? Tell me, what color is the fucking sky? Huh? It's blue, right? Because it's fucking obvious. That's the point. The point was to lose, and the point was to develop talent at the same time. Last year resulted in a lot of close losses. That 18-64 record is so misleading. We were in 20 games, more than those 18 wins, that in the last 3 minutes, we collapsed because guess what? We did not have star talent, and we did not have a lot of set plays for us to run because we didn't have the talent to execute them. That is the plan. The plan was to see who can shine without having the stars, and those are the people that we keep. I just don't understand this disconnect with the critics who adamantly hate and are glad that he's gone, like Stephen A, who will say that, oh, he should never be a GM ever again, and then shut the fuck up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And you should never be a commentator again, Stephen A, because you don't do shit but regurgitate hot takes that other people write. Like, just shut up, bro. I just get so pissed off when people like Stephen A get on television and spew this nonsense.
Oh my god.
And the Sixer haters, the people who say, well, this is ruining the NBA. You know what's ruining the NBA? You sucking the dick of Steph Curry every fucking 30 seconds. That's ruining the NBA. How about that? Huh? How about oh man, this is ruining the NBA. You know what's ruining the NBA? The fact that you can't give the people like the Spurs the credit that they deserve for being a 20-year consistent model of consistency. The fact that you cannot break down why Brad Stevens deserves to be coach of the year. The fact that you don't give any airtime to Damian Lillard. The fact that you don't mention a word about what Jabari Parker's doing in Milwaukee. That's ruining the NBA. All these hot takes and all these Michael Jordan says the Bulls would sweep. Who gives a flying fuck what the Bulls would do? This is 2016, not 1996. That's ruining the NBA. What's ruining the NBA is the fact that no one has the farsightedness and the vision to see that there is a fundamental error in the way that the lottery is done. That's what's ruining the NBA. Not Sam Hinkie, who had a vision enough to see that, hey, we need to change the way that the system is run for teams like us, because teams like us do not have names like New York and Los Angeles in front of our name. We are the Philadelphia 76ers. We are the home of Rocky. And Rocky was an underdog. No one gave him shit the same way that no one gives teams in Philadelphia shit. No one cares about us. No one ever has. And I'm fine with that. But Sam Hinkie's idea was, we're going to flip the system on its head, and we are going to show them that teams in small markets to mid markets like us matter. We matter. Philly lives matter, bro. And I'm just trying to tell everybody that Sam Hinkie was trying to do the right thing, and he was pushed out the door by ignorant management who is going to regret this decision for the next 5 years. Because I guarantee you, we're going to trade for Brandon Knight, we're going to sign Rudy Gay in the offseason, and we're going to throw $100 million at Dwight Howard's dumbass, because we're just terrible. And we are going to be the Sacramento Kings if I think this is going to go the way I think this goes. I pray to God that Jerry Colangelo's old ass has some type of sense and continues to do this process until it works. Because until then, I have no intention on saying that, oh, this team is going places. I had all the faith in the world in Sam Hinkie, and now it has been ruined by short-sightedness and a hasty decision to remove somebody and make them resign by alienating them within the office. I have nothing else to say other than the fact that the Sixers have to get this shit together, because they're going to see very, very soon that nobody is going to give a flying fuck if we don't win in the next 5 years. And people were so on board that they were willing to support a team that had Phil Pressey and, Tim Frazier at point guard, and they were cheering for these people. It has gotten so bad because the fans realize what is going on that they cheered "Let's go Knicks" at the Wells Fargo Center just tonight, because they realize that Sam is gone and this is fucked up. They wouldn't even let kids who had on Sam Hinkie shirts participate in the half-court shootout, because they realized that, oh shit, there's a fan base for Sam here. And it wasn't just Sam. It was Sam's vision. It was that he was the medium for change in Philadelphia in the 76ers organization. And you took that from us because you had no vision. That is the key word here. Vision and short-sightedness. And Sam Hinkie had a vision, and you all blew it up so we could hire your fucking son, Jerry, Brian Colangelo, who's done nothing in this league. But, people like Stephen A. Smith think he's done so great for the fucking Raptors. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The Raptors who traded for Rudy. Let's just make it stop. Make it stop. This is just spare me of these hot takes. Spare me of your awful analysis on Sam Hinkie. Spare me of your short-sighted, non-vision having asses in the sports media world like ESPN who say good riddance to Sam Hinkie, fuck off. Like, please, next topic. Just give me your thoughts. And next topic, fuck y'all.
Is lit. Is lit. God damn. God damn. All right. That was cathartic. I like that. All right. So, my thoughts. First and foremost, I think a lot of the stuff that I've heard about, and Q voiced a lot of it already specifically, so I don't have to cover as much. So thank you, Q. First and foremost, I think Jerry Colangelo, the reuniting of the Colangelos, shows an example that's terrible in the sports right now. That was pure nepotism. That by hiring a son in the less than 24 hours, so that's disgusting for starters. Number two, if you read the 13-page manifesto, or the resignation letter, everyone's calling it the manifesto, you can understand how intelligent of a guy Sam Hinkie is. Now, was he perfect? No. By any means, no. He made some mistakes. Luck was not always on his side, but his logic was sound. And actually, I would counter your thing about the whole tanking thing. I would say this. The lottery process, and this is actually an opinion from a Liberty Ballers. I think his name is Jake Fisher.
Yeah, I like Jake.
He said basically that actually, given how things have turned out, you could say the lottery process is still fine because even though Sam took advantage as much as he did, they still didn't, overwhelmingly get that much huge of an advantage in the 3 years time because you still need luck. So you can say it's probably fine the way it is right now.
I guess when I said that, I mean fundamental change that needs to happen is they need to let the people see these ping pong balls being selected. I don't like this because I need more visibility, transparency. But go ahead.
And the other counterpoint being is basically that Hinkie may have come off like a dick to people, and supposedly that he may not have communicated as much. But the reason for it, if you listen or if you read it or if you listen to other people cite their interactions with him, is the man really felt like if you weren't in his brain trust or if you weren't in someone he could fully 100% trust, he felt that the competitive advantage that he was trying to gain to help the Sixers would be in jeopardy. And as crazy as paranoid as you may think, you can still understand, okay, if that was me and I thought that, then if I was in issues, then I guess I might do the same thing. I might be kept up in my own office and constantly trying to figure out a way to get better as soon as possible. Another thing I want to mention, that if anybody's heard the Low Post episode with Hinkie on it, I really, really suggest you do. It's a great interview. And honestly, I fell in love with the guy. I didn't know much about it. I never heard him speak. But listening to him speak, the guy is not a dick. At least to Zach, the way he talked to Zach.
No, he's incredibly nice, man. And even if he was a dick, I don't care as long as you win. Michael Jordan's one of the greatest players ever. It's not, he is the greatest to a lot of people. He's one of the biggest dicks, that we've ever seen in sports. Like, come on now,
yeah, right.
Sad.
The thing with Hinkie, you can understand, the man said. Now, some people may not believe this, as I've listened to a lot of these podcasts that I've been researching for today, is that some people don't believe that he admitted to Zach Lowe that he lost up at least 20 pounds of the I think it was the 1-30 record in the first 2 months of the season that the Sixers had.
Yeah.
How much stress it was on him. This is how extreme of how the process can be, especially mentally. Yes, you can have it on the fans, but the fans were buying and they're like, it's okay, it's for the greater good, it's for the greater goal. This is the end sight. You get bad now, great later. But Hinkie must have been feeling it to lose 20 pounds to that much stress. Oh my God, I never expected to get this bad. That's what it told me, at least. Another thing that you could say is, I think the mentality that quote unquote tanking being acceptable is dead by everything in the mainstream media you hear today in sports. whether it be Stephen A, whether it be all these supposed coaches or the um, execs, all these people saying whatever about Hinkie, that they don't like what he's doing or this or that, because there's this like amount of pride that you gotta be respectable, you gotta be competitive, that it's that thing you want to, show that you're at least competitive, not just saying no, you're not even trying. Well, the thing is, if that's true, then the idea of tanking wouldn't be able to say that's what is not like an acceptable thing that's allowed in the NBA, because all these responses that I'm citing something from Eyes on Basketball that they talked about when they're special today about him.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that tanking, the mentality behind tanking is alive. I would agree with Zach Harper and Matt Moore saying it's not. And if I just misquoted whoever it was, because I've listened to a lot up to this, because I really wanted to make sure I was up to par for Q, because I know this topic was important to him. Basically, everything that I've heard from Rights to Ricky Sanchez, like all of the anger from these Sixers fans, like there is animosity right now towards this owner, Joshua Harris, who literally put a knife in, to quote Rights to Ricky Sanchez, in his face, in Hinkie's face, not his back, in his face, that the 3-year process was just about done. This was the offseason. Everything was with the cash in. You have $50 million in cap. You have all of these draft picks. Literally, whatever they didn't keep on the Sixers, if they let them walk or whatever, because everything was on such low money, they were going to... This was the offseason. He was planning to make his next move. And now we won't know. Now we won't know. We don't know what Sam Hinkie was planning. We don't know for sure. And I'm kind of sad, because I was fascinated by this. Someone had the gall to literally do what people do in NBA 2K when they're tanking for themselves in a video game, but in real life.
And I just think that that's the only way to talk about this. Is just like, if I can give you a metaphor, the Sixers and what they were doing was akin to going on a severe diet before you got in shape, right? And all right, we're cutting out all carbs. That means no pizza, none of that shit for the next 3 months. And at the beginning, that's gotta feel like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. This is gonna be painful. It's gonna suck. What the fuck? Why? And a lot of people will say that, oh man, well, there's other ways to do it. You could just work out but still eat the same. No, dude, it's not going to be right. Your body's not going to look the way that you need it to look if you don't cut out this bad stuff for you. It's the same thing here. And fundamentally by cutting out all the mediocre players and by only wanting the good stuff, and by good stuff I mean assets, draft picks, right?
Right.
Even though Sam Hinkie virtually won every trade, he literally pulled off robberies that will go down in NBA history as some of the greatest trades just off principle.
Right. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
You just jogged my memory. There's pieces you can write. Think pieces, to quote Q, would be that Hinkie's never lost a trade on all this stuff. Like his record is comparable to Danny Ainge right now. And even in his manifesto, he even goes to admit about the Joel Anthony trade that Danny Ainge pulled off, and he gave him his Executive of the Year award vote for that alone. Like, the dude may be a dick, but he's humble at the same time. He can respect game. Like, the guy had a plan with even with the trades. He'll, on the Zach Lowe podcast, he even said that if you keep looking at trades down the road, it's like, what is winning a trade? Like, I don't know if he fully believes this, but even in that moment, it's not like he had this conniving face when he did the trade. He literally did it. He's going to take a risk, and I'm going to do it because I believe it's going to work. Like who wins a trade? Like, you keep reviewing it. Even when he does his drafts, when they do the redrafts and they look back on it, like, what would we do different? What would you do different? Is it from year to year? It keeps changing. Like, the man just keeps rethinking and ruminating just to try to keep continuing to get better. Like,
I just don't understand how you push out a GM who's smarter than everybody else in the room. He's not Chip Kelly smart, where he thinks he's smart, but he's really a fucking like just I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna go in on Chip Kelly, but we all know what Chip Kelly did if you watch the NFL. And what the thing is, Sam Hinkie was virtually smarter than most GMs, and he had the long term always in his mind. He never made any decision brashly. He never said, "Oh, let's keep Isaiah Thomas because Isaiah Thomas for Mike Carter-Williams," because virtually we're not getting what we want out of it. We want a superstar talent, and I'm not trying to shit on IT. I think IT is a star talent, and we're gonna get into what a superstar is later on into the podcast. But to me, a superstar talent, just like a glimpse, a superstar talent to me is, someone that you could put on most teams in the NBA, or if not all of them, and they will be in playoff contention. And Sam Hinkie, by his measurement, Isaiah Thomas was not that. But what he realized is, hey, I have the ability to get that in this Los Angeles pick because the drafts coming up are going to be strong. So if I could give Boston Isaiah to get this trade to go through, which we see helped out Boston immensely getting that star talent. So you can understand if you just break it down what he was doing. All right, let's see. Trade Jrue Holiday, who's coming off his best season, but I don't think he's going to be a superstar, for Nerlens Noel, who could be just as good on defense as Jrue is on offense, which is still pretty damn good. But Nerlens has the potential to be an elite rim protector, an elite defender, the defending positions basically 1 through 5. He could do that. That's his ceiling. And you can see that in players like Karl Anthony Towns, who can defend Steph Curry like he's fucking 6'5". Like, it's just ridiculous. So you see that in Nerlens. You see that trading Jrue Holiday for him in what is going to become Dario Saric, that's a win. Trading a bunch of, Euros for Nick Stauskas, who's improved immensely this year. The game is slowing down for him. Trading it for him and 2 pick swaps, unprotected by the way, just straight up pick swaps for any position in the draft. That is robbery. That's a robbery. That is literally a robbery. And you cannot tell me anything other than that. Like I said, trading Mike Carter-Williams for LA picks. Trading Jrue Holiday for Nerlens Noel and Dario Saric. Trading, I believe his name was Korkmaz, whatever his name was, or whatever. He was like a Spanish guy or a Croatian. And we traded him for Nick Stauskas and 2 unprotected chances, right? And we stack up all these assets, these 6 first-round picks, and these 6 first-round opportunities to swap. And people call this a failure. It's not like Sam Hinkie's process was, well, let's suck and let's only see if we get the first pick. Then you're only tanking for 1 player, and that's counterproductive. But to care about assets, to care about finding players from the D-League who you can bring up, like Robert Covington, like I said, who just dropped 30 and 11 on the Knicks on Carmelo Anthony. People just people don't understand, man, that the lottery is all about luck, Ryan. 1.7 chance. That's what the Cavaliers had at landing number 1. And the NBA rigged it. I'm sorry. The NBA happened to make it happen. So the Cavaliers got so lucky, or they rigged it for them. To bring, by the way, here's my theory: the NBA rigged the lottery to get LeBron back home. But anyway, any other way,
Shaq dropped some jewels on that one.
Yeah, like I swear that this is exactly what happened. That's why I need transparency and when these lotteries are being drawn. But they had a 1.7 chance. They got the number 1 pick. They got Andrew Wiggins, and they traded Andrew Wiggins to Minnesota. All right. So the Kevin Love is now gone, and you get Andrew Wiggins, the prize of the draft. That's just a lucky thing. Landing Karl Anthony Towns, that's lucky. The year before Andrew Wiggins, having Zach LaVine.
Right, you can stop like right there. Like if Hinkie gets actually, I want to bring this up because this is a point brought up in a lot of those podcasts. If Hinkie has Karl Anthony Towns, like he hits in the lottery, like, he gets first pick, he gets Karl Anthony Towns or he gets Wiggins. Okay, and if Jahlil Okafor doesn't have his issues that he had earlier when he was in Boston, then maybe we wouldn't even be talking about this, and Hinkie would still be there.
No, we don't talk about this. People be on their knees saying, "Please teach me, master," because Sam Hinkie would be the fucking GM god the way that he was going to be to people. They would say, "Oh my God, we are idiots. Teach us how to rebuild properly. Just 4 seasons of being bad could get us this. Oh my, please teach us." Think about this. It has only been 3 seasons, and we're in position to do something great. It's been 3 seasons. All you dumb fucks who's come, like you fucking schmucks who go around saying, "Well, the Sixers have been taking forever, man." 3 seasons. It's been 3 years. And you all act like we've been doing this shit since 95. We hadn't been taking it since 95. We were genuinely either mediocre or just fucking trash. And that's the sad part, is that we're tired of it, and Sam Hinkie represented a fundamental change in the organization. He said, we're going to radically improve this team. It's going to be so ugly. It's going to be so disgusting. It's going to be a terrible product, and the ticket prices are going to plummet. The shares are going to plummet. But guess what? In a 4 to 5 year span, which is nothing in NBA time, it's nothing. That is nothing in NBA time. 4 to 5 seasons, that's nothing.
Well, in regard to this,
of course, that's nothing in regard to a tanking, right? And by tanking, I mean trying to find talent in the draft, which is what tanking is. It's not just being trash; it's trying to find talent. So just 4 to 5 years of finding talent.
Let's give some examples here, because the Spurs did it to get Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and no one ever talks about that. No one talks about Pat Riley doing that.
The Celtics did it to get Paul Pierce.
I mean, and no one talks about that because they got lucky after what, 2 seasons?
Possibly.
I believe it was 2 to 3 seasons.
I'm not 100% on that.
It was 2 to 3 seasons that they were trying.
Tim Duncan was that dude, and they tanked.
And they were like, "Shit, we need this guy," and they got him. And
look where they are.
And they're 20 years deep. And you need a GM who has the balls to make the trade that no one else will. Trading Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant, are you out of your mind? Vlade Divac's just coming off of an all-star. Like, what the hell are you doing? This kid's coming out of high school. We don't even know if he's going to be good. Yeah, he looked good in high school, but what are you doing? I'm trading Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant. Okay, cool, do it. Shit. After they see his highlights, yeah, do it. All right, cool. After they see the fact that he became one of the greatest players of all time, and that's an extreme case of someone taking the elite, but let's go to a moderate case. The ability to trade Brandon Knight for Brandon Jennings, and the fact that Chris Middleton actually became the best player out of that trade. That's luck. That's the luck of a trade. That's the luck of being a GM who's willing to take the hard call, to make the big decision. And Sam Hinkie always did that. I don't understand what people who are critics of the process wanted. Okay, so you want us to keep Drew Holiday, you want us to keep Lou Williams, you want us to keep Andrew Bynum or, oh my God, Spencer Hawes. You want us to keep Evan Turner. All right, cool. And you want us to stay as a first-round buy for the then Miami Heat or the now Cleveland Cavaliers as the 8th seed, so they can get their rest by just playing, throw the oop against us, right? That's what you wanted us to continue to do. You wanted us to continue to be LeBron's bitch in the playoffs and do nothing but achieve 35 wins to 40 wins a season. You never wanted us to hit 50, 60, 70 wins like the Spurs and the Warriors are doing. You didn't want us to be a model of consistency by getting great talent. You wanted us to stay mediocre and stay barely respectable. Barely. That's what you wanted us to do. But Sam Hinkie represented the change that, you know what, we're not going to do that. We're going to change what we're doing, and we're going to go after the best talent so we have a model of consistency 20 years from now. And you ruined it. You soiled it. It's over. So you want me to trust the guy who drafted Andrea Bargnani with the first overall pick?
Well, let's give it just a little more context, just to give everything out there. Brian Colangelo, his record as a GM is questionable at best. He did draft DeMar DeRozan. That's about the highest peak I think you can get in Toronto, before Masai Ujiri came there. But yes, the Andrea Bargnani is one of his biggest criticisms, and then look where he is now. He's not even with Brooklyn anymore, I think. I think he's still a free agent somewhere. Anyway, it's questionable at best, and usually when GMs, when they go from their peak to their valley, it's really tough to get out of their valley at that point. Like
I give him a D plus as a GM overall.
Like even then, the worst, like I said, the nepotism was disgusting. Number one. Number two, as soon as Jerry Colangelo, you had people saying from day one that they thought the end of Hinkie was coming. And it turned out to be true. I thought after a while, after all these months, maybe they are going to be just a pair. And they're going to try and, speed up the process to get competitive now. Well, I guess not, because he's too political. He's been retired for at least 10 years as USA basketball representative. And he just wants political state. You're going to make me chairman. And another good point brought up by Rights to Ricky Sanchez and Sixers Beat was all of a sudden, before Colangelo was even there, you start hearing more of these stories coming out from Philly. NBA sources leak or tell us that, such and such is awful in Philly, or the fans are so-and-so, the coaches, da-da-da. Even though Brett Brown tried to sign to an extension because he wanted to be there for another year. All these stories you would hear come out from Philly, like all the problems were coming out. And I was like, that's a damn good point. Before Jerry Colangelo, you heard nothing about these type of issues. Nothing. Unless you were listening to First Take. That's the only time you hear it's awful in Philly. Like, you heard nothing until Colangelo came there. And now he brought his son in, because I think that must have been his main goal all along for being chairman. I get to pull my son in.
It's almost like Jerry Colangelo should have stayed the fuck out of Philadelphia. I mean, I don't know where people get that idea from.
You can partially blame Adam Silver. I don't know how the heck this whole came to be or who had.
I will blame Adam Silver, but I do like Adam Silver, and I won't disrespect that man.
He played a role in it. I don't know how the.
I believe he lobbied for it, and I believe he kept badgering.
I think that was the owners. I think that was the owners that came to lobby for it and pushed Adam Silver.
I believe he kept badgering us, and I believe he kept saying, "Hey guys."
I think that was the owners though pushing Adam Silver.
Oh yeah.
Philly's bad. They keep tanking. They're making us look like a disgrace.
And you know
do something about it. Step in as commissioner.
You know what? I think that the owners were scared. Not
Maybe.
Because he's gonna ruin it. I think they were scared because what if this shit works and teams start to do this? This is gonna take money out of our pockets if this works.
Well, nobody else is.
No one else has done it.
Will. But we'll find out. That's why in his manifesto, Hinkie's manifesto, you'll hear, please. He literally said this, and I thought it was such a great analogy. All the crops have been eaten in Philadelphia. He planted the seeds, but now he won't get to see the seeds that he sowed, how they turn out to grow. So he was saying, just please don't fuck it up. And now we'll be judging Hinkie, or people will be judging Hinkie, unfortunately or unfairly,
as a failure
based on how this. Well, no, they not yet. They'll do it based on what happens next. Will Brian Colangelo fuck up everything Hinkie has done correctly? I'd
say it's about 70% chance of that happening.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. I know how you're feeling, but we don't know yet. But now a lot of what Hinkie's done will either come out saying,
I'm just going
And
off of
maybe we'll
what
get
the Sixers have done in the past, and I'm like I said, I'm just fully expecting us to be mediocre. But yeah,
maybe there'll be level-headed takes. Maybe there'll be level-headed takes when people are like, look, Hinkie got into this point. This isn't his fault. Colangelo did this with what Hinkie brought, and this is what the product was. We don't know what Hinkie would or would not have done. That's the part that kind of sucks in all this, because I was really interested and fascinated what the heck he was going to do next, because he had a plan. And now we won't know because of the Colangelos being reunited in Philadelphia. The city of brotherly love has been literally struck with nepotism and poison.
and
Yeah, this one's gonna be a long one, folks.
I just have so much animosity for what the Sixers have done.
Also, just to go on that, for all the Sixers fans that are listening, Rights to Ricky Sanchez said this: you can protest and make your voice be heard if you're a season ticket holder or if you're a fan of the Sixers. You can email or write a letter or contact them because they will read it. So let them know how you feel about this whole situation, and whether it's you don't go to games or whatever, you make sure the sales go down, whatever it may be in your form of protest. Exercise your right, because this is some BS.
No, it's complete fucking bullshit, man. And I'm just very, very disappointed in this team. I have no faith in the Eagles nor the Sixers anymore. It just is whatever it is. I just don't care. I mean, it is what the fuck it is, man. We're the Philadelphia Kings. Congrats. Congrats. Congrats to Josh Harris. You fucked us. You fucked us you fucked us worse than a 2 cent whore. Like it's just over. It's done. Everything that you worked for, everything that Sam Hinkie preached with patience, it's over. It's done. I have no confidence that you'll be competent because our management has never been competent in the past. And Sam Hinkie was the only one who was willing to say, you know what, let's change all this. But of course, right on time, you panicked, you freaked the fuck out, you got anxious, and you made a dumbass decision because you had temporarily feelings, so you made a permanent decision in alienating a man where he had no chance but to leave. So Joshua Harris, fuck you. Fuck all the fans who like this. Fuck people like Stephen A. Smith who think this is a great day for Philadelphia with all that dumb shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go fuck yourself, Stephen A. Smith, and all the people who even identify with that. Because either you're completely ignorant or you're a complete dumbass. And at this time, there's no difference because you should know what teams like us are doing. I'm up on almost every team and what they're doing, and I respect teams' processes, and I respect the fact that teams who like the Timberwolves, and I respect teams like the Denver Nuggets who want to go about their own way of their process, and I won't criticize them from the perspective of what I think they're doing is stupid, and I won't criticize any team's process for what I think is a contrary to my own system of beliefs. But if I feel as though you're being counterproductive, I have to speak on it. But even the Knicks, with what they're doing, they haven't shown me anything to make me be like, yeah, I'm on board. But I won't go about them and completely disrespect Phil Jackson because I believe Phil Jackson believes he's doing the right thing. But they haven't shown shit to show for it. People like the Nuggets, like I said, they don't have anything to show for it. But neither did we, but we were on the way to show something for it at least. And now we don't have anything to show for it besides Sam Hinkie's work. And I have no confidence that they're going to use his work in the way that he intended to. But that's just my 2 cents. I really want to move on with this. Once again, I apologize for all my profanity. Yes, I just get very, very upset when people disrespect great minds like Sam Hinkie, and it's not even just about Sam Hinkie. It's about his ideals. It's about what he represented, and I'm just very, very saddened by that.
The man was a hope for Philly, and I want to leave this my last thing. Minnesota has been kind of tanking for a while as well. Nobody's criticizing them because they've been able to hit on the lottery. And let me say this, it wasn't their goal. They were just kind of sputtering out for a while. They weren't actively trying to tank. If the luck had switched between Philly and Minnesota, we could be talking things from a whole different perspective between the Sixers and the Wolves. So I want to just keep that thought out there. If, say, whether it's Karl Anthony Towns in the Sixers or if it's Andrew Wiggins, we could be talking a completely different situation, all because of how the lottery balls fell. So remember, just when you look at Sam Hinkie, he's whatever you want. As Tom Ziller said in SB Nation, he's whatever you want him to be. But please, all I have to say is it's a very, very packed situation. Please do your research. I did mine, and even then, I don't think it's enough. There's a lot of reading you can do, a lot of podcasts you can listen to understand the context of the situation. You can make your jokes, but try to understand what it's like for Philly fans like Q and other Philly fans. That this is just, it's a crazy situation to how things turned out because everything had a plan, and now it just got ran